Okay, what we're going to do today is take a look at the latest version of Manjaro 20.0 Community Edition of Openbox. This was released maybe a day and a bit ago. I had arranged to film this video way earlier, but there was sort of nationwide shortages of my ISP, so I sort of got halfway through this video, then the network dropped and just a whole manner of things happened. But I'm going to do it now, and hopefully all is good. So we're going to run through the installer together and then just have a sort of a general look around. As I say, I would say I've never used it before, but I used it for about 10 minutes earlier, but that's about it. So let's go. So we're going to launch the installer, and as you can see there, it's Manjaro Linux 20.0 Lycia edition, the Openbox version. Right, we're going to go for English UK. Let's test that keyboard out. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go to next. Okay, this laptop has... Okay, yeah, we'll go straight for that disk there. So we're going to go for erase disk, and we're going to have swap with hibernate. So this laptop's got 16 gig RAM, so it's made a swap partition of 17 gig, so we can have hibernate to disk. And then it's given us an EFI of 300 meg, and then it's given the rest of it auto root, which is about 220 gig there. So now we're going to go next. Type in our user accounts, and as this is a laptop, I'll call it Lappy, and then PC I'll call PC. We're going to log in automatically without asking for a password, and we're going to use the same password for the administrator account. Okay, let's click next. Right, I'm not going to bother installing an Office suite, but the options are either LibreOffice or FreeOffice, but I'm not really needing either of that on this laptop, so we're going to go for no Office suite, and then click next. Oh look, installer's gone a bit crazy there. Okay, I can just about make out though, so I think that's all right. So let's go to next, install even. Install now. Right. This is very quick, it takes a couple of minutes, so what I'm going to do is pause the video here, and then in a couple of minutes it will be done, and then we'll start the recording over again, and then we'll boot off disk. Okay, and as you can see, the clock has barely moved even a minute or two, so it was literally 2-3 minutes maximum to get that installed once we'd set our options. So we're going to restart now. I think this laptop's got a Windows installed on it, so it will we'll have to choose in the grub menu Manjaro. But other than that, we've got auto login, so it should be fairly quick. Okay, the capture card's not picking up the grub screen, but I'm sure it will refresh in just a minute. There we go. So, has it extended? No, it's done a mirror for us straight away. Brilliant. Okay, here we are at the desktop. What we're going to do is briefly go over the release notes, but we won't talk too much about the XFCE and KDE and GNOME stuff, because obviously we're using the Openbox version, but then some of it will carry over. So like there's ZSH is the new shell, default shell, so I do believe that is the case on here. And then now we have PAMAC 9.4 series has received a few updates. Enhancing our package manager, we have enabled Snap and Flatpak support by default. So I read that as well earlier, which quite surprised me actually, having both of them sort of supported out of the box, that you can actually install through the sort of PAMAC UI as it says there. And also in terminal to make use of even more packages. GNOME users, don't need to worry about that. If you search for an app, yep, don't need to worry about that. This is the interesting part that I found, sort of the biggest takeaway from this sort of updated release, is Manjaro Architect supports ZFS installations now by providing the needed kernel modules. I thought that was quite interesting to see there. We now have kernel 5.6. with the latest drivers available to date relative to your installation media release. Our tools have been improved and polished. Okay, so that's basically all we're going to really read on the release notes there. There's not too much really going on there. So what we're going to do is have a general look around this desktop. We're going to start with just what we can see. So at the bottom here we have a panel. I'm not sure if that's what sort of panel that is, to be honest. We have an audio button here, which we can click to mute or unmute. We have an update PAMAC there, which has got 30 updates to get, so we'll have to update that in a moment. We'll do that now. So let's just click apply and let that grab some updates while we have a look around. And then we have our networks, and then I think that's a firewall there as well. And then also you have here the workspace you are on, and then the window that corresponds with that workspace that you're on. So it will separate it. So if you had another window open on another workspace, it would sort of have the workspace in between the window, and then new windows would start. But we'll have a look at that as we go forward anyway. So let's minimize this. So before we get to the top bar, we have a conky here which displays things like your time, date, disk usage, RAM and swap. It also says what kernel you are, and it has the public IP there. Fortunately the face cam covers it, otherwise I'd have to be on a mad sort of blurring spree to make sure you didn't all know my public IP. I think it's quite weird having your public IP on your desktop there, to be honest. Okay, so then the top bar, which is polybar, we have our clock there, a few little system applets here, monitors, temperatures, things like that. We then have a Windows spread button, and then we have icons for each workspace that they've named for us. So at the moment we're on home. This one is called web, this one's called files, this one's called pictures, this one's called documents, this one is develop, and this one is terminal. And then this one here is a Windows spread, so if you press that, it would spread the open windows for you, and then you could choose what window you wanted like that. Okay, now we're going to go to the menu here. I always forget what this menu is called. JG menu. Okay, right, so we have a couple of sort of quick launch links here for web browser, file manager and terminal. And now we're going to start an accessory. So we only have we have five categories here. But yeah, not too much, but obviously we could install stuff and perhaps that would populate it with different categories. We'll take a look at that. So we have about XFCE in accessories, as well as Catfish file search. We have GNOME disks to manage disks, and as you can see we've got 2 disks in this laptop, and one of them is a Windows install that I use for work, which you can see there. So let's close that one, and then let's keep going. So that was accessories and that was disks. We now also have document viewer, archive manager, files manager, which will be Funar. So if we go to help and about, we can see that that is version 1.8.14. We'll leave that open, and we'll just sort of keep going and leave a few things open as we go to see how the RAM goes. So while we're doing that, let's open up a terminal and keep a HTOP window open as well, and we'll just sort of move that to the top right, just so we can sort of see what the RAM's doing as we move around. Okay, so we also have image viewer, Cavantum manager for theming, Manjaro user guide, terminal emulator, text editor, which is Z version 2.4.2, a small and lightweight text editor. Let's keep moving. And then we'll also have USB image writer and USB stick formatter. We have Compton for screen compositing, and we have Nitrogen for your wallpapers. Let's have a quick look at what the selections are there. So we have a few selections there, all very quite dark. So it's quite a dark themed distro by the sort of looks of it, this one. Let's see what this car one looks like. And let's jump into a different workspace. Okay, we've got an error here, so let's just click close for now and see what that was all about. So there's that other wallpaper. It's not too bad. I'm not really into sort of cars as wallpapers though, so I'm going to change it back. So let's go back to Nitrogen, and let's just change it back to the default there, which I think is this one. So let's click apply. Okay, right, let's have a little look at the RAM. So we've not even gone over a gig yet. Let's keep it moving. So I think that was about it for accessories. So in internet now, we have SSH and VNC server browser, and Firefox is our default web browser, and we have a couple of links there for mail reader and web browser, probably carried over from XFCE or something. So if we open up Firefox, we can see what version we have. I'm pretty sure it's version 75. Let's just double check that, which is the latest version as far as I'm aware. Oh, wrong one. So we're going to help and about. Tap to click is working out of the box as well. We have got version 75.0. Okay, let's leave that open as well. RAM is now about 1.11 gig there. So that's internet for the most part, and in a multimedia we have no sort of video player or anything like that, so I'm going to want to install VLC. We have pulse audio volume control, we have the QTV4V4L2 test and video capture utilities, and then the volume icon. Right, in settings we have AR&R, accessibility, advanced network configuration, appearance, color profiles, customized look. So we've got 2 appearance applications. Let's have a look at that. So this is that one. I don't know if that's the XFCE or the LX one. Let's have a look. So if we go open up the other one now, which is customized look and feel. There we go. So I think one of them's XFCE and one of them's LX perhaps. So as you can see in this left one here, we've got not quite as many themes available. So I wonder if changing one, so it doesn't say it's changed it on there. Interesting. Let's go back to Pack Bang and do the same for that one. And we'll click apply there as well, just in case. I'm going to sort of download perhaps the Arc theme, and we'll sort of apply that. I'm not sure if we're going to have to apply that across the two applications or not. Maybe 3 actually, because obviously it's Openbox, which has the Openbox configuration thing. So let's see what icons we've got. So it's on GNOME, it has Faber, Adwater, it has Mocha as well. So we're going to enable Mocha as our default icon theme. Let's just click apply there just to make sure it takes effect. Okay, but that's all we're going to really do for appearance at the moment. As I say, we're probably going to download the Arc theme and perhaps the Arc icons as well. So let's keep going. Default applications for LX session, desktop session settings. So that's just for your, hang on, automatically started applications, right? Okay, so that will be sort of programs to automatically start when you enter your desktop. So the firewall applet's already enabled, update notifier, Manjaro hello, so we can quickly tab that and then that won't appear anymore. Power manager and network, so that's all good. Let's leave that like that and let's keep going. You can also type in here for like a title of an application, hit enter and launch it like that as well. So we had got to desktop settings, so display, we have file manager settings, which is going to be for Funa, we have Kickshaw, MIME type, editor, Manjaro settings manager. So if we just open that, you have a few options here like locale and language, as well as kernel, user accounts, time and date. And under hardware you also have keyboard settings and hardware configuration. Let's keep going. So where did we get to? Manjaro settings manager. Here is our mouse and touchpad settings, and as you can see, if we go into the touchpad here, oh, wrong bit, you can see we've got tap to click enabled, as well as 2-finger scrolling out of the box, which is nice to see. Let's keep going. Right, so here we have the Openbox configuration manager, where you can sort of set the theming and things like that for the windows and margin. So here is where the sort of Windows title bar theme is, so we're probably going to change that. Maybe if they've got an Arc kind of theme, we'll use that. Yes, KV Arc and KV Arc Dark. So once we've downloaded the Arc theme and extracted it to the right folder, we'll also enable the Arc theme in here as well. We won't do that just yet though. So let's keep going. We also have Openbox key bindings. Right, we're going to take a proper look at that once we finish looking at the rest of the applications, because I'm not too sure about any of these key bindings at all. We have Power Manager, which looks like it's the XFCE Power Manager. Yes, it is indeed. So let's close that. And let's keep going in settings. And you also have preferred applications, which will sort of let you set defaults for certain things like web browser and mail reader, as well as file manager and your terminal. So let's keep going. So we got to preferred applications, you've got your Qt5 settings there as well, removable drives and media, settings editor and settings manager. So let's open this. I think this looks like the XFCE settings manager to me. So if you click appearance again, it will open up here, which I think is the XFCE appearance. I could be entirely wrong though. Open up Power Manager, and again, yeah, it'll open up the XFCE Power Manager. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. So we also have Network Manager D menu as well. So let's go into the system now. So here you have Add or Remove Software, which is your GUI package manager, where you can also manage your updates like we did at the beginning. So that says that's done all successfully. So let's go back, and then if we go into this little bit here, we can also enable the AUR repository, the Arch user repository, AUR for short. So let's go, oh, wrong bit. As you can see there though, you've got 9.4.2-1. So let's go into preferences, type in our password, and enable the AUR. There we go. So now we can grab and build programs from the AUR Arch user repository. So let's keep going. We also have the zeroconf browser. We've got bulk rename again for Funa. We have, is that for Funa? We have a firewall here. So if you type in your password here, you can then configure your firewall to however you might want it, and block and allow certain ports, etc. Let's keep going. So that was firewall. We have gparted to manage sort of partitions and sort of do a bit more of advanced disk stuff, as well as having the known disks that we saw in accessories. We have htop out of the box, which is good for us. And let's just jump into, is it home where we have our htop running? So as you can see, when you click whatever window title on the bottom bar, doesn't matter what workspace it's originally on, it will jump straight to that workspace. So we're still under about a gig RAM there, which is pretty cool. Let's keep going. So we also have Manjaro Hello, software update, termite, Funar file manager again, time shift. So this is like a backup snapshot program. We're going to take a quick one now for the first time using rsync. We'll go to next, and that's just going to estimate the system size, and we're going to use that disk. That's correct. Go to next, and I'm just going to do a weekly one and then go next. Yeah, we're going to go for the defaults there and then click finish, and then we're going to create our first snapshot. There we go. So we'll leave that window there so we can keep an eye on how long that's taking. It's saying roughly about 45 seconds, 50 seconds, so it's going to go up a bit. So that's time shift. It also has Tint2 panel, USB image writer, USB stick formatter, and then UX term, Conky, and JG menu. Okay, now that we've looked at what the programs are that it comes installed with, we're going to install a couple ourselves, mainly GIMP, Tmux, and maybe a couple of others. Snapshot is now created. But before we do that, we're going to see what these keyboard shortcuts are. So let's jump into a different workspace. Maybe let's go to here. So what workspace was we in when we did that? Let's do the window spread again. No, it's not spreading anything. Oh. This panel seems to have crashed. I tell you what, we're going to do a reboot anyway. I'm not too sure what the keyboard shortcut for that works. We're going to do a reboot, and then we'll go through the keyboard shortcuts and just have a little fiddle around, and then we'll also set up some programs that I'm going to need to use to edit this video. So I've just hit enter for Manjaro Linux, so it should catch up on the capture card now. There we go. Okay, cool. We are back in business, so we're going to go straight. I thought we changed this in the thingy. Oh, we'll do it there so it won't launch up a startup now. We're going to go straight into the keyboard shortcuts now and see what the keyboard shortcuts are. And we're also going to test hibernation in a moment as well. So where was the keyboard shortcuts? Was it in system? No, it must have been in settings. There we go, OB key bindings. Okay, so to go to a desktop, you can use the super key plus a number, so super 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So let's go back. And then to move a window to a workspace, we can use the super key as well as control and then a number. So control, super 2, 3. And if we go to 1, and then back to 3, and then let's change that back to 1. There we go. So that all works nice and easy. Next window, so Alt Tab. So we have an Alt Tab switcher. Let's open up a Files Manager just to see how that Alt Tab switcher works. Let's open up the File Manager, and then there's your Alt Tab. Very simple. Alt Tab, just a list. Right, let's keep moving. Desktop next. Control Alt Right. So we also can go Control Alt Right to cycle through our desktops, as well as the Alt super and number keys, which I tend to use more actually, the directional keys to switch desktops. Toggle show desktop, mod 4 super, hyper and D. It's quite a few keys that, isn't it? Send to desktop left. Oh, so you can tile things to the left of a desktop and as you send it, is that what it's doing? Let me see. So super, shift and right. Is that the right one? Super, shift, left. No, that's not what I'm thinking at all. Okay, ignore me. Shift, super, left. No, I don't know them. So it's just sending things. Oh, I've read that wrong. Okay, so you can also send your programs to the other desktops with directional keys and shift and super. So we have some audio keys here. Let's see if the audio keys work by default on this laptop. No, they don't. Let's try brightness. Brightness is working though, my screen is getting brighter, so that's all good. Probably have to manually set the audio one in sort of one of the comp files or some sort in Openbox. Right, let's keep going down and see what other ones we've got. So, Termite, Super and T. So we can launch a terminal with Super and T. And you can also launch a terminal with Super and Enter, I've just seen there. So if we go Super and Enter as well, that'll also open a terminal. Okay, cool. Super and M is Dead Beef. You can get your POV control with Super V, Super S. Let's see what that does. So you can get your window spread with Super S, which they call Skippy. So let's keep going. You also have a files manager at Super and F. There we go, so you can open up Funo with Super and F, which is pretty handy. And I can see a web browser there as well, so you can open up Firefox with Super and W, which is opened up in this workspace, which is that's a terminal workspace, isn't it? Perhaps there was too much windows open on this workspace. Okay, let's keep moving. So you can do Xkill with Super and Escape. You can just do a standard close with Alt F4. On this laptop it will be Alt FN F4. Let's just double check that. So Alt FN F4. Yep, that all works as it should. So you've got some toggles, you've got some resizes, show menu, Super and space. Right, so that's just your right click sort of Openbox menu there at Super and space. Yep. We've got another show menu, Alt and space. So that's for the window menu. We have unmaximize, maximize full, unmaximize full to the left and right. Okay, maybe that's our Windows snapping. So that's Alt, Super and left and right. Brilliant. So we've also got Windows side-by-side snapping with the Alt and Super keys using the directionals. Very nice. Lovely. Right, what I'm going to do now is quickly test out hibernation to make sure that's working. So we're just going to do it in the terminal. System CTL hibernate. Unknown operation hibernate. Yeah. I've done it again. Oh my god, what are you doing, Tyler? Right, let's try that again. Hopefully the hibernate works as it should. So it should go off and then we should be able to just hit an enter key or the turn on key, and then all those windows should still be there. Right, my screen's off, but it won't show you on that screen, but that screen is not doing anything. It's just sort of frozen on that image. So I think I can hear the laptop's powered down. So let's now try and turn it back on. And then, as I said, it should resume from hibernation with the same programs that were there when we left. Right, so it's just got through the grub screen. And then it will catch up with the capture card screen in a moment. There we go. And yeah, hibernation is working as it should. Brilliant. Okay, cool. Very happy with that indeed. Okay, let's close that. Right, now what we're going to do is install a couple of programs now. So I'm going to want VLC, GIMP, Tmux, and maybe I won't install Kdenlive from the repo. I'll probably just grab a app image. And there is a new version of Kdenlive out actually, which I've not used yet. So I'm going to have a bit of fun with that off screen. So let's just install a couple of programs. Let's get VLC, let's get GIMP, let's get Tmux. Do we have... We don't have any email clients or anything, do we? I'm not sure which email client I'm going to want on this desktop though, so I'm not going to pull the trigger on that just yet. VLC, GIMP and Tmux, I think that will be okay for now. And then while that's downloading, we're going to grab the Arc theme from Firefox. So that's going to get 281 packages. Well, that's going to install 281 megabytes worth of packages. The download size is 57 megabytes. So now let's jump into Firefox and grab the Arc theming. So let's just grab the Arc theme. This one here. Is this where my internet's going to die again? As I said, the internet, my service provider's internet's been dropping nationwide. It's been like this all day, but I thought it got better. I thought it was all working. Okay, no, it is still working. It's just that website. Okay. I don't know why. It's the normal website. I don't know. Are we still updating? Is it still sort of taking a bit of bandwidth? Okay, let's let that update do its thing and sort of try not to worry about that for the moment then. Should be able to open that web page though without too much trouble. Let's open up that web page. I think the internet's just lagging again. Okay, let's just call it quits for that for the moment. Let's have a look at what this terminal's doing. Okay, so yeah, my internet's going so slow really at the moment. At least it's working though. It's been crashing all day, so at least I can actually get this video going, which is a bit of a blessing really. Alright, let's go back. Come on, why aren't you working? Do a quick speed test and see what they're actually giving me at the moment. Of course, even lagging, even starting the speed test. So it was on the news earlier about my ISP dropping and stuff. Yeah, it's not even going to be able to do a speed test at the moment. It's getting a bit silly this. Right, let's not worry about that. Hopefully this terminal doesn't take too long to do that. Look at 187 KB. Crikey. Oh no, 1.4. Yeah. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause the video here, and then when this is done, we'll come back to it. I don't want to sort of spend time waiting for my internet to wake up. Right, I'll pause it now. Okay, the update actually managed to finish. It almost looked like it didn't for a moment, and my net did crash very briefly, but came on almost a second after. It was touch and go. However, the web browser sort of is still being a bit of a nightmare, so I've got Arc Darkest on an external, so I've just copied that to the downloads folder. So we're going to sort of try that with the appearance packages and see how that looks with Arc Darkest. So we're just going to extract that into the relevant folders. Extract. So we're going to have to make one in the home folder. We'll just do .themes. And then we're going to extract it straight into there. Close. And now we're going to close this and then open up the appearance packages and set our theming and see how that looks. And then we're going to do a restart, get a RAM reading at boot and see how it goes, and we're going to wrap it up there. There we go. Arc Darkest is in this package, so that's set that like that. And let's open up the other look and feel, customized look and feel one, and it's already set it there for us as well. Brilliant. So now what I want to do is change this Windows title bars to sort of match that with the KV Arc Dark theme. So it'll be a little bit off because we're using Arc Darkest, but that'll be okay until I can get my internet sorted. So let's go into Openbox configuration, and then let's go for that one that we saw earlier, KV Arc Dark. There we go, KV Arc Dark. There we go, that looks alright actually. Let's see what Funar looks like. There we go, I'm not too worried about that. That'll be okay for now. I know the colour's slightly off, but once the internet's back to sort of normal, I'll sort that all out. Right, let's do a quick reboot, get a RAM reading, and we're going to wrap it up there. But yeah, we did it. I almost thought that this video wasn't going to be done today, and I was sort of going to put it off till tomorrow, but I just wanted to get it out. Right, just entered the grub screen. And there we go. Starts up fairly quickly actually, and let's straight away open up HTOP. Okay, so we're using at about 440 meg, not too bad at all. 440, yeah, and I bet if we killed Conky, because I don't actually use Conky to be honest with you, I bet if we didn't have Conky starting up it would use even less. Let's just do a quick kill all of Conky and see if we can get that down any sort of significant amount. About 20 meg. but obviously with it not starting up, it'll probably shave a little bit off. I don't use Conky at all, so I'll probably uninstall it or just take it off the auto start. But anyway, that's been Manjaro Community Edition of Openbox 20.0 Lycia. Let me double check that I've said that right. Let's go on to the hello. Lycia? Lycia. Yeah, that's been Manjaro 20.0, the Community Edition of Openbox. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.